In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to build a fully automated LinkedIn job newsletter using make.com. So you receive a curated list of relevant job postings directly in your inbox on a schedule without lifting a finger. We are going to connect a LinkedIn job scrapers to make.com, filter the result down to only the jobs that match your criteria, and automatically format and send them as a clean email newsletter. By the end of this video, you will have a working automation that finds, filters, and delivers the most relevant job listings straight to you every day. Let's get into it.
All right, so the first step will be to first create the Apify node to be able to download the data, to scrape the data with Apify. So just click on the big plus button there. You look for Apify, you search Apify, and then there is, you will see 3 nodes. There is run an actor, get dataset item, run a task. We'll choose run an actor. Okay, click on it. And then you will need to add a new connection if you don't have any setup, or else you can use the one that you already have. But in my case, I don't have, so we need to add one. Connection type using Apify or Apify API token, but I will choose the Apify method, which is like when you log in with Google, for example. It's the same process. So you click on, you can name this connection. I name it tutorial. So click on save, and then there will be a pop-up opening asking you to connect with the account that you want. In my case, I will choose my personal account there. So I will click on that. Now it says which permission you want to give to make the Apify aspect. So I just click allow access. I'm okay with that. Perfect. Now I can look for the actor. I will go and choose search which actor you want to use. So I will look for the Apify store actor, and I will be I will search for LinkedIn jobs with an S. And the third one, remove duplicates and paper result. This is the one that we'll be using for this automation tutorial, and we click on it. Perfect. Now it sets the default JSON input that is set up by the developer of the actor. In my case, it's me, because I am the one who developed this actor. And before we would try to tweak the input, I will just check this option. Run synchronously will set to yes. So if it is yes, it will, because when it runs the actor, you don't get the data instantly. It takes some time. And if you set no, then the process of the next node will not receive the data. Like the Apify node has to run for some time to get the data collected, and then you can use it for the next process, next node. And to be able to do that, you need to check the yes parameter. The build, we don't care. Timeout also, and memory. No, this one we don't mind. So the only thing we need to change is the input JSON. So we go on the actor. This is the actor page. You can find it on the store. If you go on the Apify store, you search for LinkedIn jobs. It will be like among the first, but it's the one LinkedIn job scraper, remove duplicate from chip scraper. So you just click on it and you will be redirected to the input page, where is the place you can change the input of the actor. In my case, I already have an input setup because before the video, but I will show you how it works. You set up the input that you want, okay, with the different filters. Personally, I don't use the start URLs method. I just remove all of them. I just use the keywords-based search. So, and then I have some filters. I'm looking for 6 locations across Canada. And I have like, I just want the job that are published from the last 24 hours because it's a newsletter. It's a daily newsletter. If you want like a weekly, then you set for the last 7 days. It's up to you. And then I set the experience level as entry and internship because I'm a junior. Minimum salary, I don't mind. And these parameters I didn't set up. Have some universal filter. So this will exclude certain company that I don't want. Most of this company are like AI. It's like a job where you are hired to just filter data, make sure that the data is clean to train some LLM model. And it's across different role. And I don't want to work with this company because I don't believe they are like full actual developer job. Because me, I'm looking for a full stack developer role. So I don't want to work there, but it's up to you. Like, I mean, it's up to you anyway in the full input. This is your newsletter, not mine. Exclude some job title. Like if the job has one of these keywords, I don't want to scrape it. Okay, I'm not interested in, because they show instantly that they are not for junior role. Like if you see senior in the job title, then it's not a junior role, like it's a senior role. The same for SR, lead, principal, VP, chief. And also I'm comfortable with a certain technology, certain programming language, and I'm not comfortable with Java, for example, PHP, C++, C#, .NET. And if this job is requiring that, then I don't want this job. I don't want to see them in my newsletter because for sure I'm not qualified for it. High chance I'm not qualified for it. But it's up to you. You see, it's like an iterative process. When you first have a first input, you get some job data, and then you see that there are certain roles that for sure not qualified, then you just try to find a way to exclude them to be able to filter out the result and have like to not pay for too much. I set up also some dynamic filters. These filters is like, even if the job is not respecting this filter, you will still get the job data. You will still be billed to this job because it's like post-processing filters. These filters are useful to flag a certain job. I mean, jobs that do not match the filters. So you will be able to filter them out easily in the sub-process of your make.com pipeline or NA10. So in a nutshell, you can read that. And anyway, I have like 2 tutorials on how to be able to build this type of input. The first one is how to use this scraper. You can go there. And there is a second tutorial to build any Apify actor input with AI. So this input that I'm showing to you, I didn't even build it myself like manually. I just chat with Claude and it built like the full input because this is really long to build yourself. Anyway, so I exclude certain industry. I don't want to work in this industry. I repeat, even if the job is within this industry, you will still have it in your data set, but there will be a field in your job data that is called dynamic filter match, that if the job is not respecting one of the filter that you have set up there, will be set to false. So when we are using make or NA10, it will be super easy to filter them out, and I will show it to you later in the video. Anyway, so there are certain industries that I don't want to work in, such as defense and space, manufacturing, armed force, military, and all of this. All of these industries, I don't want to work there. So if the job is related to one of these industries, I'm not interested in. But I will still be billed for this job, okay? But since it's pretty cheap, I don't mind. Exclude recruiting agency. So if the job is coming from a recruiting agency, I'm not interested in, okay? And that's it for dynamic filters. Job match scoring. This is super important to filter out the result, especially when we have like using LLM, because we don't want to send too much data to LLM because it costs too much. Like if you are using Claude, imagine you use Claude for evaluating 1,000 job description, the cost will be really high. But if you are using Claude to filter only 20 jobs or 30 jobs, then the price is really cut, you know? Anyway, so my skills that I've set up is I know TypeScript, and these are the aliases. I will not go through too much about the input because I explained enough in the tutorial video of the LinkedIn of this scraper. I apologize, and it's better for you to go see it if you're not understanding. But anyway, this is a way for me to search in the job description if these keywords are appearing, yes or no. If they are appearing, my keyword match score will be higher. And so what I will do in make.com is that I will have a threshold. If it's match, if I have a match score of like 80%, if I have at least one, because I have 5 main keywords, if I have at least 4 of these 5 keywords in the job description, then the score will be 80% minimum. And I am interested only in these jobs. Because if it is like 40% or even 0, then it's not even mentioning the skills that I mastered in my CV. So there is no chance that I will be like detected by the ATS system. So I encourage you to understand how it works. But if you want, in a nutshell, this is looking for these keywords in the job description, and these aliases are referring to the main keyword, okay? So it's looking for a match, you know, like a string match, like a text match based. Then I have the general settings. I don't have a maximum result. I just want all the jobs. I save only unique items because I don't want duplicates, and I don't want to enrich company data because it does not benefit me for this flow. And this is my full input. So what we have to do right now, we scroll up to this place and we click on the JSON tab view. So we click there, and this is the full input, okay? This is the full input that we will be copying. Just click on this button, copy it to clipboard, and then we go on make, we go there, we do Control A, we delete, and then we do Control V. And this is the full input, okay? That will be feeding the actor to search for the jobs that we want for the newsletter. We click on save. Now it's complaining. It says actor value must not be empty. What does it mean? Okay, the error message is gone. I think it's just a small bug. All right, so the next node that we need to add is the module, is the, you search Apify, it's the Get Dataset Items node. So you click on this one, you will, the connection will be set by default, or you have to choose the connection that you want. And then the most important thing is the dataset ID. Okay, so this node, what it will do is that it will collect the data that you scraped. So when you scrape with this node, it does not return the data that Apify scraped for you. Instead, it returns you an ID of the data sets that you can fetch later. And this module, Get Dataset Item, is doing that. So it will fetch the data from Apify. So you can go there, click on / and then search default dataset ID. So the number there before correspond to the ID of the node or module that are present in the current scenario that you are working right now. So I explain myself. This Apify node that you see there has an ID of 2. So when you see 2.default dataset ID, it's telling you that you will get the field called default dataset ID from the node 2, the one that is returned by this one. And this is what we want. So we click on it. Data transformation, we put it at clean. We don't mind. The format JSON. Limit, there is no limit. I don't want a limit. So I will set the highest limit there. So it's like 100,000. So you just write 100,000. You just write 100,000 there because I don't want a limit. Offset, there is no offset needed, and we click on save. Okay, so we have the 2 nodes right now. What we will do is that we will do a run. We will actually run what we have right now. Because for the next node, we need the data to work with. But what we need more is like the schema of what the data looks like. And right now, Make does not know about the schema of the data that you are fetching. So you will need to do like some test run to have access to the fields that are returned by the actor that you are using. And don't worry, you will not waste money because the run that you will do right now, we'll reuse it for free later. So to get access to this data, to make make.com understand what is the format of the data that you're actually fetching from Apify, because everybody has, every actor on Apify has its own dataset schema. So the name of the field, like let's say someone called job description, all lowercase, one call it with like a uppercase J, and then job description. And you see like all of these differences, make.com cannot track that. So it needs first to run to test the data first. So we just need to click on run once to actually do the test run. So this is what we will do. And if we go on Apify, we'll actually see this run triggered. If we go there and we go on the run section, we'll see a make.com, as you see there, make.com request, the origin. So if we click on this run, if we click there, we will see that's the log of the actor running and scraping the data. So, and the data is there. So what I was telling you is that the dynamic filter match, this is what it tells you. It tells you if it flags the job, like remember the excluding job industry and flagging the, if it is a recruiting agency, this is how we will be able to filter them out with this field, which is a Boolean. If it is true, then it passes these dynamic filters. If it is false, then it does not match these dynamic filters. And regarding the filters above that are not dynamic, the job will just not be there if it does not respect the filters. So as you can see, the scraper finished. It scraped 50 jobs, and as you can see on make.com, the run is finished too. Perfect. All right, the next step right now that we fetch the data and then make.com knows about the dataset schema of the actor, we can add another module, which will be a text aggregator, okay, module. This one will help us aggregate the data that we just fetched, because by default, Apify, if you, let's say we remove this node and we just send an email with the job data, then it will send an email for each job that we have. So it will send 50 emails, which is not what we want. We want one email with like the job, okay? And to do that, we'll need to use some sort of aggregator, okay? Which is on make.com, which has like different aggregator. But the one that you are interested in is called the text aggregator. Why? Because we need to, for each job data that we have, we need to build some sort of text structure to be able to format it correctly, because we want to send an HTML-based email. Why? Because we want a clean table in our email to have it like readable. And I show it to you how it will look like. This is how it will look like. It's like a table with all the jobs that are interesting for us, that respect our filters, I will show it to you how we will filter with like the keyword match score and the dynamic filter. And so you will have like some sort of clean table there with like the source, LinkedIn, the job title with the link embedded on it. When you click on it, it will redirect you to the apply URL of the job on LinkedIn, the logo of the company name with like the company link on LinkedIn, the location, the pricing, which is like salary. Honestly, it's not well written. Match score, how much you match, how much keywords kind of you match on the job based on what you gave in the input, and the matched keyword, the keyword that match, and the unmatched keyword. And so this is what we want to build. And to do that, we need to use HTML, because this is what it is understood the most by different email provider, which is Hotmail and Gmail, because we will be focusing on that. So anyway, we need to build this text. And by the way, the text will be linked on the comments, or maybe I will share, I don't know if I can share the full actual flow and just take the link of this. But you will see something on the description, but don't worry, I will explain everything. So the source module, you click on that and you want to give the source. where the aggregator will aggregate which data. And the one that we want is from the get dataset item with an ID of 5. And you can see the ID of the get dataset item is 5 there. So you just click on that and the text. So as you can see, this is the data the schema data of one job, how it looks like, because Make right now understand how it looks like. Why? Because if we see that, this data, if you can see, it match essentially this. You see the dynamic filter, job title, this is how it is called. This is JSON. Okay, it's good if you understand a bit JSON because it will really be useful for you when you use Make. But in summary, like this is the key of one job data, okay? And the thing that are under curly braces correspond to one job data information. So for this job data, we have access to the salary, we have access to the location, we even have the keyword match percentage score. So all of this data is related to one job, okay? And we have that for every job. So coming back to the aggregator, I will just copy paste the text that I want to form with the aggregation, and we will modify it a little bit because it's coming from another flow. So I will just copy paste it there. And to explain it to you simply is that it's used the HTML table format. So everything that is under TR brackets and it finished there, it corresponds to a row of the table that we want to build. This is a row, okay? And for each row, we have different columns. We have the source, job title, logo, company, location, pricing, and the match score, a keyword match, and a matched keyword. This structure will be coming later in the email, but what we want to feed the email is this structure, this thing. This is a row. We want to aggregate for every job data that we are interested in to form this text, okay? And it has to follow a certain structure. So first, you need to have a row, okay? This is the row. And then under the row, you have cells, okay? This is a cell, this is a cell, this is a cell, this is a cell, and so on for each cell in the row. And the first row is a static value of LinkedIn, the source, where it is coming from. So I did that initially because I was actually combining this with Indeed. I was scraping also Indeed at the same time. So I was scraping both websites and I received one email. But for this tutorial, I will go sample. But I just kept it. But it's not that useful. But I suggest that if you're not comfortable modifying this, just keep it as it is. Anyway, it will be in the description. Not description, the comments. Because the description is too much. But one of the places, either the description, either the comments, you will see this data to copy. And then you have a TD there, another cell. This one is dynamic. This is based on the data of the job, okay? So I have an apply URL. The apply URL is coming from the job data. This is like, where do I get this data? But as you can see, this is coming from another flow and it's not up to date. So I need to make sure that I reference the good apply URL, okay, from the job data that I received from this scenario. And you can see that this is coming from a module that has an ID of 3. But as you can see, we don't have any module that has 3, so it will not work. So what we need to do is that we delete that, okay, we type slash, and we search for apply URL, okay? You just type APPL, and it will propose you different things that are coming from this module that has this start with these letters. And you can see there is the apply URL, apply type, apply application comp. We are not interested in these two. We want the apply URL, so we just click on it. And you can see it's blue. When it's blue, make.com tells you that, okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay, I know this. I know this is coming from this module. If it is black, then it means that it does not understand what you just typed. Also, it's using an a tag from HTML, which is a link, okay? This is what will make this blue, and then when you click on it, it will open the actual URL that is embedded in it. And then between the two brackets, okay, there is the actual data. We want the job title. We want to know, okay, what is this job title about, okay? And to be able to do that, we use a special syntax. It's called if empty, okay? Because this data, most of the data of this, not most, but like scraping in general, you don't know if the data is there or not, like it's rare. Most of the time it's there, but it's possible that it's not there. So it's like empty. If it is empty, it might crash, okay? And it might crash for like really small things. And to be able to react to that, we are using a special function from make. It's called if empty. Okay. If the value that you just gave there, the job title, as you can see, it's black. So we'll need to reference the good job title. If I will tell you how you can read that. If it is empty, the value that is there, semicolon, use type n/a. Okay. You could write whatever you want there. You could say no job title there, for example. If there is no job title, you just type. It's a custom text that I just put. NA means non-applicable. For me, it's easier to understand. And then you close the parentheses. So there, if it is empty, what is empty? What is if it is empty? The job title. So you type slash, you search for job title. Okay, you can see this is there. You click on that, semicolon, type NA. If it is not empty, it will actually type the job title. This is what we want. Okay, perfect. We just did one cell. This is this cell. This cell. We just put this cell, okay? Next, we have another cell. This is the company logo. It's super useful because I want to see which company it is, just visually, directly. To do that, we need to use an image tag from HTML, okay? And by the way, I strongly suggest you, if you don't understand this, just copy this and paste it in an LLM and ask question about it. It will explain to you everything. And you can even build your custom table when you're comfortable with that to match what you actually want, okay? And you give like the link of the actor. You say, okay, this is the actor I'm using. I want to build like this newsletter with this data. And it will literally give you the whole HTML super easily. So this is the image, okay? Inside the cell, we have an image. And it has a link, okay? And I give it a width of 45 and a height of 45 and some style, okay? They look decent. Actually, I didn't even build that. It's coming from Claude, but I understand it. So I want the company logo. I know it's called company logo. So I just typed logo and it gave me. This is the actual link of the company logo. You can see it there. Essentially, if it's there. For example, this one, this is a link. If I search it, this is the actual Amazon logo because this job is coming from Amazon. Coming back to the make.com, we have another cell. We need the company URL because I want to click on it from LinkedIn, okay? So the href will be there, similar to the apply URL. We have an A tag. We do slash company URL. If it is empty, the company name, okay, because we want it to look like that. You have the company name, and inside the company name, it's a link. So when you click on it, it redirects you to the apply URL. If it is empty, what is empty? The company name, okay? Just type that, put NA, okay, n/a, non-applicable. If now we have the location. If the location is empty, location? We need to search for it. 5.location. Type NA. Okay, this one, the salary info. If empty, okay. If this is empty, if this is empty, okay, the join pricing info, type NA. If it is not empty, do this operation called join. Why? Join is an operation that takes, I will explain to you. There, you see, salary info is given as a list. Okay, it's like, we call that an array, okay, or a list. Okay, in JavaScript, it's a list. What it will do is that it will take this value, it will take every value of this array. Generally, there are only two, and it will concatenate them. It will write, let's say in this case, how it will look like. It will be like $89,700 dash $149,800. And that's it. So it will be to have this value slash this value. I can even type it to you how it looks like on the notepad. It will look like that. You remove the comma, and you will have this. It will literally look like that. Oops, I don't know why it decided to do that like that, but this is how it will look like. To have like a good visual like aspect of, okay, what is it about? So you have to reference a good pricing info / pricing info. Actually, it's salary info. So I made a mistake there. It's salary info. So this is a salary info. So you have to put salary info there. It's not price. I saw a mistake for my own HTML because I was referencing something else. So you search for salary info, and this is what it will do. Keyword match percentage score. We want that. This is essentially this score there. Okay, on 100%. This one is 60% matching. Why? Because you have 3 keyword matching on the 5 total keyword that I gave. Aliases reference the same main keyword that are aliasing, so they are not considered as different keyword. Anyway, so you have like 3/5, for example, on this one, and this is like 60% match. So you can delete that, delete the 3 there, and keyword match score percentage. Normally, the one that I will give you will have the correct one, but for the ID, I don't know. Just make sure to verify if it is black or not. And just make sure to first do a test run to make sure that make.com understand the schema that you're working with and getting the data. So this is another one. If it is empty, I want to know like what are the keyword that it match. So join match keyword, and then there is a break statement there. Okay, so this is a bit okay. So it's actually, because how I want it is like one keyword, and then there is a line break, another keyword, a line break, and another one. So this BR tag is a special tag on HTML that is forcing a line break. So instead of instead of concatenating with a dash, it will actually, for example, it will give TypeScript, then it will append BR, and BR is understood by HTML to be a line break. So it will be SQL line break. Then you have tools, and that's it, because it's the last one. Okay, and then you have else. If it is empty, then just NA, type NA, and then the same thing for unmatched keyword. Okay, unmatched keywords. So you have your whole row right now. This is super cool. Okay, so this warning is just telling you that you're not using the data that you're aggregating, but we'll be using in a few minutes. First, before doing all of this and doing the aggregation, I want to filter the data. You remember where I told you about the dynamic filter and the score match? You do that because I don't want to aggregate all the job data. I want just to aggregate the thing that interests me. So you have to, between the two, the get dataset item and the aggregator, you have like this icon there. You can click on it, and this is filtering, okay, on make.com. So I want to label it the first filter. I will just call this filter actually. Okay, the first condition, what is the condition? I want, you remember this, the keyword match score. I want this, the keyword match score percentage, to be above, greater than or equal to 80%. Okay, why? Because I have 5 keywords that I'm looking, the main keywords, and it fits well, like at 80%. It means that I have 4 keywords that are matching over 5, and for me, it means that the job might be interesting looking at. And then I want to add another rule, right now for a dynamic filter match, to be equal to true. Okay, true means, okay, it passes all the dynamic filters. It's not in the industry that you don't want to work in, and it's not a recruiting agency. So these are the 2 filters that I need. Okay, And then it will filter out the things that are not respecting that, and it will just aggregate these. And then when it sends the email, I have an email with like few jobs, easier to process. I don't even need an AI, okay? But to be more precise, an LLM is better also. But this, I will just make the flow without the LLM. And this is like the cheapest. You can run that with make.com for free. And even on Apify, since the actor is like scraping for, I don't know how much do I pay for that? Like 60, I got like 50 jobs. I paid 6 cents, like less than 6 cents. So you can do the math. If for $5 a month, I just scraped how many location? 6 location, 1 keyword. I can even match more keywords, and I'm sure it will be like not even that high. But yeah, all right. So the next step will be to add the email module to send the email. So we're already filtering, we're already aggregating. So we need just to add the final step to send the email. So there are 2 ways to send an email with Make. The first one is using the mail module from Make. This one. The email module. This one allows you to send an email with any type of provider, but I'm solely using it if I want to send email using Hotmail, so from Microsoft. So if you're reading your email using Microsoft software, such as Hotmail, you will need to use this one. If you want to send with Gmail, and you're reading with the Gmail, you need to use the Gmail one. So I will show you both, the Microsoft one and the Gmail one. So click on the email one, search for which module you want to do. You want to not create, send an email. Now they ask you to add a connection, okay, there. You need to connect your Hotmail account, okay? So I will click on add. And even though they offer Google, the Google one, like, is honestly, it's pretty complicated to set it up. So I prefer that if you want to use the Google, like Gmail, and read your email through your Gmail inbox, better just to use the Gmail node. Anyway, so click on Microsoft, call it, I don't know, tutorial, call it whatever you want, like it has no influence. Click on save. So make sure to sign in with an Hotmail account. Now they ask me for my password, which is correct. You will be all set up. So sometimes it bugs, it will crash. Just redo the process and it will work. I know it's odd, but this is Microsoft software, so you can't expect high quality. That makes you, okay, so you can accept that. Then normally the connection should be good. Perfect. So now that you are all set up, you can configure the rest of the parameters. So save message after sending, I just put it as default no. I don't even know what this is. You want to send to whom? I prefer to send to myself. The email that I use to send the email, I will send an email to myself. You can do that with email. So I will literally just type the same email that I use for this connection there. Okay, like that, there are few chances that it goes into junk box and goes to the primary inbox. The subject, for the subjects, we will do some make.com dynamic thing. It's pretty useful. Is for the subject, we will put this thing, LinkedIn jobs, and then we'll put like a dynamic value for the date. Like that, it's easier for us to know, like to navigate through the different emails, to know, okay, this is coming from which date, essentially. So you can use the function from make called format date, and then you have now, which is like a special value from make, which is basically the actual date of today. I mean, the day that you are running this case, okay, this scenario. And then you want to format it how? So month, day, and year. So it will be like it will be something like June 1st, 2026. Okay, something like that. The content type, this is important to set it to HTML, because we will use HTML to do the table that I showed you, this one, to format it properly. And this is where we need to write a little bit of HTML code. So this is the table code that will be used to display the table properly. So this is HTML code. So you have the full table. Okay, it gives the skeleton, what will be the columns, what will be the rows, what are the style of the table. So this is basically wrapping everything. Then you have a header, t-head, that is wrapping rows there. Okay, I mean, not a rows. It's one row with a th, which are like every header cell, which are distinct, essentially. Source, job title, logo, company, location. This is the header. This is what we are trying to set up right now. So just make sure this was pricing right there, but I changed it to salary because it's more logic. Then you have the t-body. T-body is essentially the rest, okay? What do you have in the rest? You have rows. This is what we did in the aggregator step. So you have rows, and the rows will be like a bunch of rows, okay? This bunch of rows, you get it by referencing what you get from this text aggregator. So if you remember, for each job, what we'll have is this string, okay, this text, which is essentially HTML code to say this is a row, okay? So when you get there, you do inside the t-body, you do slash, and you try to get the value of the called text, okay, which is the return type of this tool text aggregator. And it has an ID of 7, as you can see, so it's coming straight from there. And from there, you build the table. And normally, if we run this, we will be able to read and get the table data. So instead of rerunning and pay again for the result that we got, you remember the 60 jobs we scraped, the 50 jobs, apologize. We can go there. Instead of run once, you click on this caret button, and then you select one. Okay, you select the run that you already played, you already scraped. Normally, there should be only one there, okay, because you only run once. But me, I did some tests during the video. But this one, you click the only one that you have. You click on it, and you have like it will be checked. And then you click on run once, okay? And then when you click on run once, it will not scrape again Apify. You will not pay for it. It will just literally reuse the data that you got. Okay, so the 50 jobs you got. And you can see the filtering filtered 40 jobs out. So only 10 are respecting your filter, the filter that we set. So this is so much cool because it's way easier to process 10 jobs instead of 50 jobs. And then you can start applying to these jobs because you know that there are a good chance that they are decent because they respect your filter. So this is what the email looks like. We have like the title of the job. This one is in French. You have the logo, the company, you have the match score. This one is as a full match score, full stack developer. You have software, front-end and mobile. You have React.js developer, full stack developer, intermediate software developer. You see this job, intermediate, it might imply senior. So I could later just add this intermediate keyword in the job title exclude, and I will not get this job. So this is how you iterate. All right, so this is how you do it with email. Now we want to do it with Gmail. With Gmail, it's the same process. So you can delete this node and you can add a module, and then you search for Gmail, and then you click on the one that says send email. If you don't find it, just click on show more and search for send there. Send an email. Now they will ask you to connect. You need a connection. You can click on add. I will call it tutorial. I will use sign in with Google. And then I click on the email that I want to use. Then they ask for permission. You say continue. You send email on your behalf. You select everything because else it will not work. Continue. Now that you have the connection set up, it says you have until December 21st, 26. Yeah, because you need to reauthorize the connection. Sometimes it expires, but we have time. So similar to email, we'll put LinkedIn jobs, format date, now, month, day, and year. For the body type, we will put raw HTML, and we will literally just use the same HTML that we use on the email node for Hotmail. So we have the HTML there with the same value that is referenced from the tools, and the tools that is the text aggregator. So we click on save. Field must not be empty. Oh, a recipient. We have to say to whom are you sending this email. I suggest that you use the same email that you use to connect. Okay, because else it has a high chance to go in the junk inbox. So it's up to you, but me, I prefer to use the same email that I use to connect to Gmail to have the connection. So I just write my email, and then you click on save, and then you can again rerun to see how it works. It filter out. You can even see the filter, like which job was filtered. I mean, not which job was filtered out, but like what were the value that filters that make this filter out. As you can see, a lot of these jobs it was the dynamic keyword score. So you can see that this is really helping filtering out jobs that are like no chance you have to apply there because you don't even have your own skill in the job description. Anyway, so you go on Gmail inbox, and then you can see LinkedIn jobs, June 24, 2026, and then you see the exact same jobs that we got in Hotmail, and then you can read that. So why it's important to distinguish between the two, because if you are using the Gmail node and you are reading the email with the Hotmail Microsoft software, because you can connect the Gmail to Microsoft software and read the email there, the HTML will not be understood actually. So it will look all over the place. This is why if you want to use Microsoft, use the email node from Make. And if you want to read using Google software, such as Gmail, you use the Gmail node and you will be fine. Actually, even if you use the emails one and you read through Gmail, if you use the email node you send with an Hotmail and you connect your Hotmail to Gmail, the HTML will look good, so it will be fine. But I showed you the two ways, just in case you want to test. The final step is that when you have this process to run it every day, you can go there, and when you see every 15 minutes, and to schedule it to every day, daily. Or if you want to schedule it every 6 hours, every minute, whatever, you can tweak it. But for me, I want it to run every day at 8 a.m. like that when I wake up, or like it's an ideal time for me. Now I have to click there. I click AM and go up to 8 and then click at 0 there. 8 a.m. perfect. I click save. Would like to activate and to run as planned. Yes, activate the scenario. And then I have this that will be running every day at 8 a.m. Or if you don't want and you just want to do it manually, you just go there and you click run once, and it will run the flow manually, and then you will get your email in a few minutes. Anyway, so this is the end of the video. If you want something else, if you have any idea of videos, feel free to share, and I wish you a great day. And if you have any question regarding the actor, feel free to ask them. And if you like the actor, I encourage you to leave a review on the actor because it helps the actor to grow. And anyway, I wish you a great day, and peace.